to another Serendipitous Deck Sermon. I'm Megan Kinsley, your spiritual guide for this moment in time, and a co-learner of staying, conscious, staying meta-conscious, because it is a practice. So you are most welcome to this space. I'm just cleansing the energy with some sage, and we have some selenite here and also some iolite, which is such a beautiful stone, but it's here for psychic connection and help in that realm. So when this meets you, it will be a couple days, or it's timeless in a sense, but we are coming up on the first quarter moon. So currently it's a crescent, and in a couple days, when this is released on a Sunday, all to say, I felt this segment should be based on the wait, the time between a seed is planted and then harvest. Now, not all things that we intend for or plant, so to speak, on a new moon always come to fruition by the next full moon within 2 weeks, because some things happen faster, some things years down the line. And what we spend most of our time actually in, as far as that kind of action is going, is the time in between. And just like allowing hair to grow out when you are waiting for it to get past that like 1-2 inch stage, and you want it to be at the like 5-6 inch stage, and there's all these centimeters and inches in between. I'm using that measuring system. It can be trying. It depends on how it is that you come to a moment of waiting or control, and all of that fluctuates throughout the time. It's not like one stagnant way that you would deal with it. Sometimes we don't even notice the time go by because other things are happening instead, right? Like a really good tune comes on, all of a sudden the bus is here. Cool. So I have a little writing on it, and then I was going to pull a few different cards, but stick with the pulling the card from the Serendipitous deck on screen. It's been quite the journey. Mercury is currently, actually just went retrograde like 3 days ago. Now, I was born during a Mercury retrograde, which I just think more so has placed like an intense amount of focus on communication and connection and that kind of realm of thing within my actual life, rather than it meaning like, oh, I do really well during a Mercury retrograde. But I also find that shit can fall into place in a very awkward way. So if anyone else has looked that up about themselves, I'd love to hear what you have to say or think on that specific subject. So on we go. So there will be some questions posed here. You absolutely can feel free to pause this and go get like a pen and paper and write them down for later, or just think on them. But for the start of it, what I think would be helpful is to ground. So wherever it is you are, like I have mentioned before, energy does not know time and space in the way that our linear brains feel as though it must. And so when you are trying to ground, if you're really high up in a building or on a plane even, or anywhere that you may think you're like far away from the earth, or even wearing rubber shoes or whatever, energy can still move. There are ways to help it, and more, connected ways, but it's not impossible. It's not disconnected at any point. You are always connected. You're always in the universe. So that's helpful to know in case that ever was something you were worried about. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, or I guess focus on a point. Some of us have trust issues. That's absolutely allowed here. Okay, and then breathe out and in. And then continue this at whatever pace is feeling comfortable to you. There's no reason to force any kind of breath in this moment. And I want you to notice and feel the breath as it's moving past the nose or mouth area, whichever it is that feels more comfortable for you to breathe in and out from. Feel the actual air moving against that part of your skin. And then notice it moving into your body as it fills up your lungs and moves out to every extremity that there is, and moves back again. And just like the blood flows around us and the energy is always moving that we are a part of, the breath finds a peace and a oneness in movement within all of that. And I want you to notice your heart. Whatever pace it is beating at. And I want you to feel the love that is within that heart. It can be for a person, place, thing, time. It can be for yourself. It can just be for the moment that we are currently sharing right now. It can be for the earth itself, for all the humans that have ever been, are to come, for your children, your family, your chosen family. And allow that love to be within you in this moment, instead of sending it out to the person or place or thing or moment. And then allow that to spread out through all of the parts of your body, just as you did with your breath, with the oxygen that is being blessed into us through the trees, through the seas, through our vessels. Feel what it is to be alive. You hold that within you always, and focus on your breath and the fact that it is now that you are breathing in and out. It is now, in this moment, that your heart is beating. It is now, in this moment, that you feel love and or pain of loss, because all of that is stored in the heart, and it's okay and allowed in this space right here. Love is not always something that is a positive or happy thing, but it is love, and it is allowed. And then take a deep breath, and as you breathe out this time, feel that connection from your heart flowing down through the body, down through the digestive tract, out through your legs, down to your feet, and down further through past the crust of the earth, and keeps going further down. And it starts to grow roots so they can go even further, and the roots become golden. And they keep growing and growing, and they gently caress the core of this earth. And feel that core notice you and connect with you and hold you. And allow the energy to come back up through those roots, through the earth's crust, through all the chakras, up to your heart. Feel the love that you are blessed with for being alive on this earth, by this earth. And then allow, as you keep breathing in and out, the energy that you are feeling to move up through your throat, into your third eye, your forehead area, and out through the top of your head, and out in this showering shape where it falls gently down back to the earth to be recycled again. And allow that to continue down to the core, and then back up through your center and out through the crown chakra and shower, doing this. Down again, making this oval, golden, white, blue, whatever color it is that's coming to you, warm energy bath or sphere or shape that surrounds you, that glows with the energy that is your existence. And know that you can always feel and connect to this core, to this moment, to the love that is shared between you and the earth in this way. The energy is moving in this way a lot more often than you are aware of it. And I invite you to always allow yourself to remember, but always is a lot for us while we're living in this current time. And I want you to notice your physical feet. Wiggle your toes and your ankles. Just notice them. You don't have to wiggle your ankles. And your calves and your knees, your thighs, and the hips, your middle, chest, stomach, back, center of the body, the upper chest, heart, shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearm, wrists, your hands, and wiggle the fingers. Notice your neck and your head, and thank yourself now. Say to yourself, thank you for this blessing. Thank you for this moment of remembering I am living. And then when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to this place here. And thank you for trusting me. I do meditations intuitively, and they will be different every time. And I hope it brought stillness and love to your body in every single cell that exists, because every single one of them is necessary and needed. Now, as we are speaking about this first quarter moon and the weight, this is how we feel vulnerability. This is how we are challenged, possibly, within our relationship to patience and trust, of knowing we've put work into something, or we're wishing for something, or we want something for ourselves, change or more, whatever. And while knowing that that is deserved, what I think is important to remember, specifically having done this grounding exercise, is the table is making sounds, sorry. Before the thing that you want for yourself manifests, you are enough. You are already whole before that happens. And I want you to remember that and repeat that to yourself too, because I think that in this world of enforced mindset of lack, and we are exercising more and more understanding of the fact that we are love, we are abundance, and that is the natural state of existence, that it is a constant practice to have to remember you're worthy of more and you're worthy of better, because it can become a little bit like this mindset of, well, those people don't have it as good as me. So, and you absolutely have like the responsibility to be grateful for what it is that you are experiencing, the blessings within your life. Things that I am grateful for recently because of different living situations that I've been in are not only running water, but also the ability to flush toilet paper. Like, that wasn't something I was able to do in a place that I rented lately. And things can be very simple that you can be grateful for. They're there, and it's stuff you might not even think of. And it's usually the stuff that we end up so blessed that we can take for granted to forget to be grateful for. And this is not me sending judgment that it was forgotten. Like, I think that it's beautiful that there would be such abundance and such beauty in someone's life that they forget the little things to be grateful for, in a sense. But then we need to remember a practice of that, because it's not always going to be um, fluff and beautiful and stuff, and that's the whole point of life. However, I also think there's a massive imbalance of enforced loss and lack and mistreatment of what the human form is, because of the complete misunderstanding of what it is to, like, push energy outwards, or to, like, give the whole idea of hierarchy, to take from others, to capitalism, patriarchy, both mirror this kind of thing, to keep others down so as to gain power from it. Sorry, but that's the act of a very weak being. If you need to take power from another being or another group of people so that you have power, you are weak. That's the sign of weakness. Now, whilst being in this specific vessel, I can very much feel anger and a lot of different negative feelings towards those who enact the ideals of these hierarchical structures on society. What I also see is they are only momentarily living in that human projection of being in an able body, of being in a white body, of being in a male or a cis or a het body. Like, that's only temporary. And therefore, when I, like, zoom out, big picture, and this is something my brain has a lot of ease in doing, but it's also important to ground into the literal, like, life I am currently living too, because that shit matters, and it's a lot easier sometimes to be in the big picture, because then you don't have to feel the little things. And I'm gonna come to why feelings are important soon. um but our idea that, like, we just live in this one life and then cease to be, it absolves us of any responsibility of caring not only for the all, in the sense of all the humans that are currently living, but, like, you are a part of this energetic field that is the entire universe at all times, in whatever form it is that you are taking. And I don't know all the ins and outs of everything for the afters and the befores, but I know that we don't leave here. And as much as I always remember hearing this joke of, like, you just continuously live the same human life over and over again, and that was scary, but then there was also kind of a beauty to the fact that if that was the case and you don't come in with the memory of it, you get to live life as a human again and again. And I'll come to, again, why that is a blessing in its own way, because I know that that's a subjective subject. But continuing on in these mindsets of taking from others, very simplified, obviously, way of putting capitalism and patriarchy and different hierarchical ways of having societal structures, to have lack, and then there's more for others because of the lack that others have to experience, is like a full misunderstanding of the fact that we feel the energy across the board, regardless of the, like, momentary life that we're living. And so what it is that you output from yourself doesn't get just put on to somebody else. It ends up being something that is amplified then within your own karmic experience, your own continued lives experience. And it's also something you've projected outwards into the same energy grid that you live on forever. Instead of, like, it's just like going in circles, basically. It feels very much like the number 8, of, like, how do you not see that, like, take a route, take a 9, go like this instead. I've been thinking that a lot. The numbers 8 and 9 are like so repetitive, and I don't know if it's because I got literally these tattoos and whatever, but that's a 9. It's not a 6. I know it's upside down. But we can't change other people, right? I can't tell someone else you're doing life wrong and this is the way to do it instead, because that usually does not get met very well. I never liked it when people did that shit to me, so I understand. Plus those who are the most, probably in a sense, like aware that there's shit to do but they don't want to, are going to like double down so hard in a way that some of us don't even understand the why of it. And so, what it is we can control is it's about our relationship with the in between. Sort of with change, it does trigger probably whatever relationship you have with change and with not having control. But yeah, my questions would be, what is it that continues to keep you motivated while you are waiting? How does it feel in your body to wait, to trust the divine, to trust the angels, God, the universe, whatever word it is that you are placing on the external part that is going to co-conspire with what it is that you put forward to make things aligned and come together and then move onward, right? So how does it feel in your body to wait without having a sure outcome? How does it feel in your mind? And what is it that these scenarios then trigger? And this is only for you to be able to, again, observe and not judge these parts of ourselves. So no matter how it is that you have shown up in the past or the present, I would like for you to repeat now. My relationship to change is my own. I acknowledge my past and present processes and experiences with change. I accept my past self. And I accept my current self. I am proud of myself for being here as I am in this moment. When we want for something, wish for something, and then are in that stage of waiting, I know it has a lot to do with our control issues and change, but I think what is most challenging for people, and it's dawned on me more so when I was showering earlier and I didn't make notes about it, but it's off the top of my head, it's our actual relationship to vulnerability and how we, time over again in different ways, possibly have not been treated well when it was that we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable. And sometimes we are, and that's beautiful too. But it's usually the ones in which we ended up not feeling like it was a safe thing to do or whatever it is, or the other person didn't show up, or the thing didn't show up in the way that was going to fulfill the wish that you had or the want that you had, that sticks with us a little bit more. Because the humans, right? Human way. And so, what I would like to remind you in this time is, for any one person to have shown up in a vulnerable way, wanting for someone, waiting for something, wishing for whatever it may be, and there being a space and time in between, and then you heard the news, whatever it may be, you faced something incredibly scary. And to put one word on it is kind of silly, but for the lack of a better word, it's not something that people that just do without taking very seriously. And it's also beautiful if you're very Sagittarius, or there's other parts of you that would allow this to happen, where it's going to work out for the best somehow because shit does, or whatever it is. Do not take that for granted about yourself. That is an incredible strength to have. And also, there's people that don't necessarily feel or know that and still go ahead and be vulnerable in one way or another, regardless of the outcome, I am so proud of you for ever being vulnerable to this world, for ever allowing yourself to be vulnerable to this world. And this is what I was talking about with the feelings thing. It is massively brave to feel, to allow feelings, to engage with your feelings. Those that run from them, numb them. I'm not here to hate on someone's journey, like we're all at where we are and surviving and on our own soul's journey. And if it's just here to teach other people to be careful who it is that they're vulnerable with, then thank you to those people that have been on my journey, that I now know better how to gauge who it is that I should and should not trust in this world. But I will, like, to the end of time, champion those who have the ability and continue to allow themselves to feel. It's a huge blessing, as much as like it could be seen as a curse, but I feel like that's the same kind of thing that people said for a long time, like the patriarchy and very strong like pushers of certain religions would have said this or that intuitive practice is witchcraft and like chase them out the thing. I just watched a TV show yesterday. It was quite like, I don't want to rewatch that shit. Like, can we not just see the people be magical and not have their entire villages burned? Fuck. Anyway, um, like, I don't need to relive that again. I'm aware of my past lives. This is not okay to fucking put on TV. Sorry, I'm just having a moment. That's the real though. This is like, people have been killed over this stuff, murdered en masse, and it's down to like people basically having a fear or a misunderstanding of what it is to understand the intangible side of existence. Like, we are a physical form, but there is so much non-tangible pieces that have a play in everything that goes on this planet at all times and in the entire universe. But I only know this planet for within this lifetime, speaking on what it is that I have experience in. The way that my like personally feelings haven't been allowed, given space, understood, I mean, for so long made me be smaller. And I love that I'm hearing this left, right, and center now, like people speaking about taking up space and going to therapy, like accepting their feelings and doing healing. And it's like generations of humans either didn't have the space or were terrified to even give this part of themselves space, for a fair reason. And so, not what I planned, but it actually led to me getting this tattoo, which is a big deal. And that is literally to remind me, when someone is telling you that you're making too big of a deal out of something, you are a big fucking deal. Even more than that, existence itself, your existence, all of existence, it's a big deal. It's so freaking magic that we get to exist as humans because of the way that we are allowed to connect to what it is that we have named feelings in this current human, like physical form. And that is because it tells us very strongly what it is we do and don't like about this world. And feelings are so subjective, like how we have one word for love, but we all experience it differently. Like, it's so untamed and so magical. And for you to participate in your feelings and give them space, like, I am so proud of you. And I love you for doing that. And I would like to say as well, because I feel as though anyone making it this long in this understands this, I love you for showing up to Earth at this point in time and maintaining a communication and a relationship with your consciousness of the fact that you have chosen to be here, that you are here for a reason, that you are needed exactly as your authentic self in this moment in time because of everything that the universe has experienced as being humans previous to now. You're needed, like, so bad. And I appreciate out of you for showing up now and for existing at the same time that I am, because fam, right? Okay. So now I'm going to pull the card. I'm going to pause this for a second and just take a breath because I am like all excited and alive right now. But yeah, that's why the screen might change. Okay, we have selected one that was calling out to us today. Thank you, cards. Thank you. Okay. So today it is the Jack of clubs, right? Yes. All right. Let's see what they have to say. that. Okay, lots of stuff came out with this one, so I'm gonna hold it up in case there's any imagery that would mean something to you. So I got an actual sentence and location from this one. I'll start with those. I cannot stop. I do not want to, and I feel energized, but and then it didn't specific. And then I was like kind of asking for the next bit, but I feel energized, but like maybe it's a bodiless feeling of like just endless amounts of energy sort of a thing, like it was light and easy just to continue running. And the other like energy I was getting was like sand, and it's not easy to run on sand. So Um, yeah. Colors were green and purple. Um, oh yeah, and the location was outside of a pub because I just like I smelt the card to make sure it wasn't coming from the actual card. Like these have been with me for literally years, wrapped up or on a wall, so I don't know how it would have a smell with it, but I could smell by just like holding it. The ashtray smells from being outside of a pub near the River Liffey in Dublin. So that is, I'm assuming, the location in which I found it. Um, like everyone's buzzing by the smoking area outside of the pub, and then you notice something and you walk away, and that like would have been the moment. Okay, so also there was a horizontal energy, which then I realized was an arrow, um, in like a, whatever direction the arrow is pointing in. This way is what I was thinking, but um so the other things are just kind of randomly written are like I want to do jumping jacks, just like an abundance of energy. Um, I got the sense of there being angels like not far away. The sentence speak truth. Oh yeah, at one point the felt like a waterfall was like moving down my, like I was holding it in front of me. Um, and it was like moving over my shoulders and down my back, and it wasn't necessarily either like warm or cold energy. It just felt very, and specifically like the best way I could realm or what's the word I'm looking for? Sum all of this up was like there was just this sense of oneness. Like the card wasn't separate from me. Like I was holding it in front of me, but we were one. I'm trying to understand this thing as if it's like a separate being from me, and it's like I'm a part of you. What, you know, like that energy. Um, and I got, what is this word? Oh, right. Gathering. It made me laugh as well. So I don't know that it was a memory because it wasn't the location that came from it when I asked specifically for a location. But I got gathering up your wet clothes after being at a swimming hole during the summer, and like, you know, the fun of that sort of thing. So I guess just like joy and lightness, and ties in with like endless energy and stuff. Anyway, growth and grass. So like not necessarily like it was cold or any kind of temperature feelings, but like how eagerly grass grows or greenery grows the second that it has a chance, like through concrete, through walls, whatever the fuck it is that it's just, I'm growing. And a swing set also, I guess, like the momentum and the like beautiful energy of that and the childlikeness of it, and so there was a lot of that kind of energy. Oh, my ear's ringing on that one. Like a, oh yeah, I was holding it. It felt like a hand was holding my hand, rather than it being like I was holding onto a card. Energy of being supported, energy of acceptance, and not necessarily because I was like, oh, is that like acceptance and love? And I was like, no, it's not love, it's not in love, it's not even necessarily specific to being like a friendship, but it did feel like this energy that's alongside of you. Kind of like what it brought my mind to was those things of, oh, I've been walking along the beach, but all along there were two sets of footprints because, like, and you know, in those things, it's Jesus, or that funny video where she's like, my name's Amy. But basically, this like, you're not alone. You're never alone. There is always support. We are one. Ultimate support, and also the wind, because the wind is something that was coming up with this in that way of it feeling like I don't feel the need to like push myself on or have the energy to continue running. I just am supported in doing that. So it's like I don't need a pull from my own resources. There's just like a flow. Yes, that's a word that was missing from it. That is, yeah, that is the card for today. Okay, so I am going to send that lovely energy out to you in this moment of Reiki. Just find a center, find a moment of quiet in your mind, and say, I accept this Reiki healing if you would like it to be passed through to you. With grace. And thank you for receiving the healing and trusting me. Okay. Just a moment of settling and cleansing the energy now so I can read out this last bit. I pulled a card in that little break thing before I came back to do this card, specifically asking for it to be something that would tie in with the things that I was speaking about, and I got this guy, or being. So I will read a little bit about what it says in the book and then specifically the message for it. Okay, so in this gateway, Hathor, and I'm just beginning halfway through here, Hathor is the figurehead in an intergalactic race of beings called the Hathors. Can you see this? Yes, okay. There is a good chance the ancient Egyptians were in touch with this divine race, as evidenced by the many Hathor pillars at the temple of Dendera. I'm probably mincing a lot of these words, apologies for the pronunciation. The Hathors appear as elongated pillars of infinite light, illustrating their capacity to bridge heaven and earth. Their divine mission is to activate light upon earth, interlinked with both the energy of the central sun and Venus. They bestow solar light blessings and ignite the energy of unconditional love within. When you receive this card, they know they are ushering in great blessings. If you would like to activate it, they have a chant or a call, which is Hathor, 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 to draw the Hathorian attention toward you. If there's an aspect of your life that needs light, think of it now and visualize a pillar of light descending from the heart of the midnight sky and bathing your body in infinite light as you do so. This is a light immersion. You are experiencing a full system upgrade. The infinite solar light of the Hathors is surrounding you now. This is a time of expansion and excitement. You are filled with ultimate, unlimited potential. The gifts that were once in darkness are now being brought into the light. Feelings. The part of yourself that were once hidden are now being seen. Life is being restored. If you have been experiencing sluggishness or tiredness, this is being washed away. Something ancient has awakened within, and you are remembering why you are here. Welcome home to your light. So thank you, card. That was beautiful. And thank you, being, for being, and for being here with me, and for allowing this moment for yourself of consciousness and of communing with others who are, doing their best to stay awake after their awakening. And all the love and luck to you as far as any intentions you have set between the new moon and the full moon. And, just in general with staying grounded and staying in unconditional love of yourself and of acceptance of the self. Because, did I say that before? You're healing the universe. You are the universe healing itself through us. So, yeah, all that. Thank you, and I love you.